What's up, guys? Yesterday I saw Venom: The Last Dance, the final film in the Tom Hardy Venom universe, Venom trilogy, whatever. Now, these movies has never been like... These aren't the movies that people are going to talk about when they talk about the greatest comic book movies ever, or they're not going to be an example that people are going to use when they want to talk about that comic book films can hold up to the other great films, you know, in the conversations about prestige and stuff. But they've always had their place. They've been fun. The dynamic between Tom Hardy, like they like the little, like, you know, Eddie Brock and Venom. That's a fun duo. But like I said, these movies never really been like cinematic gold. But they've been goofy. They've been fun. The first one, fun. The second one, fun. And now the third one, not as fun, not as goofy. When I saw this movie was an hour and 50 minutes, like, this is supposed to be the final film? Okay. And it's like, man, it really, and that's, let me start off with the beginning. I'm going to spoil it. It really shows you how long, like, and I think everyone's follow-up to Endgame, it's kind of been shit. Like, we got to remember, the last time we saw him was, like, No Way Home. And No Way Home was 3 to 4 years ago. And No Way Home was the follow-up. It wasn't really the follow-up. You can kind of consider it the follow-up to Endgame because it took place, a couple weeks after Far From Home, which was the follow-up from Endgame. So it's all still the fallout from Endgame. But, like, we really, genuinely, still don't know what the fuck is going on for the everyday person in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, She-Hulk kind of did something, if you want to say it did, but I don't think it did. But I feel like we really aren't going to see that until Daredevil. Because, like, even, like, I know Venom was part of the Sonyverse and all that, but, like, still, his character went through the multiverse, went there, then he comes back, and it's like he's off and he's going again. And it's like, it just shows you how long it's been since we've seen so many characters. And now, like, we're here in Venom, and this is his last film, and the Sonyverse, we really don't know. Like, we know Spider-Man 4 is filming next year. Well, we don't know, like, how far are they from doing live-action Miles. We don't even know when the next animated Miles movie is coming out. So, I don't know. I feel like this is a lot of direction. Like, there's a lot of shit going on that doesn't have a direction right now. And I feel like this Venom movie just, like, Venom: The Last Dance, it feels like, this does not feel like a final film of a franchise. And when we saw the trailer, and I saw that I think his name was, no, I don't know how to say his name, but when we saw that Demon King, whatever fucking dude sitting in that chair, I just knew deep down, we're not gonna see this guy. Like, that would be way too cool for him to be the actual person that Venom's actually gonna fight. And it's kind of fucked up that Venom's not gonna fight him, because I already know what they're gonna do. Somehow, some way, this dude's gonna enter the multiverse and fight fucking Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Somehow. That's what they're gonna do. And they're like, to use the final film of the Venom film series to set that up, this seems kind of like fucky, you know? And let's talk about the actual movie. We start off with Tom Hardy's Venom. He's in the bar, you know, that we saw he was in the bar at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. And talking to the bartender, they go through the multiverse, they come back to another bar and talking to the same bartender, but he's clearly different. They leave, they go off. A big spider monster from outer space attacks Venom and whatever. They fight. We get some backstory about some scientists that we're seeing for the first time ever. She's the girl that played the scientist. She's from Ted Lasso. She's good in Ted Lasso. And this is when I knew the movie was gonna be shit. And this is when I knew that this wasn't going to be a fun movie. It was when they spent about a good 5 to 10 minutes on these scientists and why this girl's a scientist and why this dude is helping her and all this, that, and the third. And I just think to myself, I don't give a fuck about any of you people, because we're never going to see you again. None of you. Why did they spend... Them scientists had a clean, I want to say, 20 to 25 minutes of screen time. All to themselves. Without Venom. Without Eddie. They had a clean, I want to say, 20 to 25 minutes, all to themselves. And that's when I knew this movie wasn't going to be fun. And I don't want to dog on them too hard, but that's just when I knew, like, that's when I knew we weren't in for a good time. When they spent all that time on them and what they wanted to do, and trying to like build up very badly, might I add. They're trying to build up some emotional stakes for them. And I just didn't give a fuck at all. The fight scenes in this movie weren't. Towards the end, towards the third act, they do the thing where all these people start becoming like the symbiotes start clashing on all these people so they can fight the big spider monsters, and it wasn't that good. It just looked like the CGI action figures just hitting each other. It wasn't good. Overall, this is just not. It's just a whatever movie, you know, like a middle, not even middle of the road. It's just a very whatever movie that's not even as fun as the first two Venom films, you know. It's extremely forgettable. That's why I made this. That's why it's like I usually wait a week sometimes to make reviews. I can't wait a week to make a review on this movie. I would have forgot everything about it. It's very forgettable. So, Venom: The Last Dance, I give it a 4.5 out of 10. It's just not like, this is gonna be a movie that's gonna be on TBS in a couple years, TNT, TBS, whatever cable channel that this movie's gonna be on, and it's gonna be there, and you can sit and watch it in bits and pieces while you're doing your laundry or you're cooking or whatever, you know. So, Venom: The Last Dance, 4.5 out of 10. I think next week we're seeing who is it? I'm blanking on the actor's name, but there's a good, very interesting horror movie coming out next week that I am excited to see. And you know, it's always, horror always comes through. After we see a little dud fucking superhero movie like this, the next week there's a great horror movie to follow it up. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I can't quite remember the actor's name who's in it, so I don't even know why I'm mentioning it, but it's just good to know that there's another good 1 to 2 movies coming around after this dud of a superhero movie. I don't even know how this is doing at the box office. I'm not gonna judge how many people were at my screen. It was me and one other dude at the screening, and I think it has something to do because the ticket was $27, and I didn't realize it until I got there, and I was already there, so I was like, fuck it, I'll see it, you know, and I'll just use credits on the next week when I see this horror movie, so I can save money that way, you know. But so I don't even know how it's tracking to do. I'm sure it's gonna do 500, 600 million. And after this, I don't really know what's the next big comic book movie. This what, Captain America, I think. And the next big movie is Mickey 17. I saw the trailer for that. That looks pretty interesting. That's probably the next. Well, I guess Mona 2, Mona 3 is coming out. That's gonna be big. But yeah, I don't know what the next big movie that's coming out is that like everyone's gonna see, that you know everyone's gonna see. Wicked still's got to come out, but like that's for kids, you know. The kids are gonna see that. But yeah, Venom: The Last Dance, 4.5 out of 10. Peace.